this part of my presentation, I would be talking on the quality assurance and the various methods to improve the quality assurance in the higher education institutes. Now, actually, we all teachers have to improve the culture of the quality within the institutions of the higher learning, and for that we have to develop a culture. And the institution is full of the challenges, and every institution has a different kind of a leadership. Some leaders are autocratic, some leaders are democratic, some leaders are out of box thinking level perspective. So we have a different leadership in the various institute. Certain aspects are centralized, certain aspects are decentralized. So some people believe in a democratic style, some people believe in undemocratic style. But yes, the overall perspective and the focus is that we have to achieve the excellence. So how does one generate a sense of ownership? Now it is very difficult that the people who are employed in the higher education institute, they do not have a sense of connectivity. They always feel that after the month they are going to get a salary, and the efforts which should have been reflected in their work, it is not being reflected. So the challenges are even magnified with this kind of non-ownership feelings what the employees have. They feel that they are disconnected and they are just there for their own work, and even if they can make a substantial change and they can be an agent of change in that organization, they are not putting that kind of an efforts. And to whatever education policy we will introduce, to whatever new changes we introduce, if we are unable to change the people around us, or if we are unable to train the people around us, whatever we do is multiplied by zero. So definitely we have to transform the people, and in the present 21st century we do not have any kind of a place for an autocratic leadership. We have a place for a democratic leadership who is having a transformational vision and can change the people around us. So we can have a monitoring and evaluation of the various processes in systems, the subsystems of the institution, but yes, there has to be a human factor to it, a human bonding to it, and only then we can move on to a continuous quest for excellence. Otherwise everything will be in a big problem. And now if you talk about the present situation, we are facing a pandemic situation, and the teaching learning system has to be in place. The quality assurance, the quality excellence has to be achieved. There is no change in which the accreditation reports have to be submitted, or some kind of a relaxation is allowed. No, because we cannot compromise on the quality assurance, on the quality parameters, and we have to make the teaching learning process a big success. And definitely in this aspects the technology plays a very important role, because the e-learning systems and the otherwise the quality assurance mechanisms have to be in place, and the same criteria is applicable in all types of systems. So the system quality assurance has a very important place in the agencies of today, in the higher education systems of today, and they have the level of credibility is required, which is very important for the accreditors. Now the question is that how can we improve the quality standards of the higher education institutions? We have a quest for, or a recent trend for accreditation. Many higher education institutions are coming up as far as the accreditation part is concerned, and when they have to get themselves accredited, so they have to put the systems in place, they have to put the overall aspects and the role playing into place, so that the quality culture can be brought in, and the role can be played by each or one of us towards the best practices and assurance which is towards the quality assurance. So we have to incorporate the technology aspect. We have to make certain customized softwares. We have to improve the level of teaching in the institutions. We have to do the student centric learning outcomes, etc. Because whatever we do, we have to achieve the quality standards, and we have to make the students very in the center for everything whatever we do, whatever systems we make, whatever practices we make. the ultimate aspect or the aim of any kind of a teaching practice or any kind of a practice as far as the quality assurance is concerned is student centric and the actual learning of the students. So, there is a big reason which come across is for improving the learning outcomes and the unique learning experiences of the teachers and the students. So, basically what we need to upgrade the quality standards is that there has to be a very comfortable learning environment both for the teachers and for the students. We should not be doing anything which becomes which makes the teachers uncomfortable and which makes the students uncomfortable. So, they have to develop a bonding between themselves, and the teachers have to innovate themselves. They have to incorporate some kind of a new teaching pedagogies. They have to make their lessons interesting, with well equipped illustrations, anecdotes, examples, and make the teaching very good for the students. And they have to also learn the advanced technologies so that the students are able to cope up and they develop the interest. The most tough job of a teacher is to develop the student interest in the lectures. So, it is because of the traditional teaching methods that they lack interest, they are completely disengaged, they don't want to be a part of the lecture, they just in the present situation, if you see, most of the teachers are feeling a kind of a monologue rather than a dialogue. So, there is a poor interaction which we face and there is a lack of communication. They just log in because of some kind of compulsions of the attendance, but rest they don't want to participate in the class. And to some extent we will not say that the students are responsible. To what my knowledge and what my experience says, that it is the fault of the of the teachers also. Why? Because the teachers are unable to deliver the effective teaching. Because of this, there is a disconnect of the student and the teaching, and they are not interested in learning whatever has been done in the class. So, we have to actually leave that monotonous way of teaching and start engaging our students in a very different mode, taking them to the virtual tours, showing them something which is very interesting, related activities, some kind of quiz, some kind of business games, and for that we have to learn the modern teaching pedagogies and learn the teaching learning management systems. The learning management systems are now in place, and we are all ready and all set for the 21st century. And sometimes what I feel is that the students also, they do not pay attention. So, to make the teaching learning effective, both the students and the teachers, they have to play a pivotal role, and they have to change the way they used to think before. And it is because of the traditional teaching methods, the lack of the learning activities, we have to say no to it, and we have to move on to the effective teaching, and the outcomes will be definitely immense. So, if the assessment is conducted annually, so it is a big fault for the institution, and it's a loss for the students, because if the assessment is done in a very correct way, in a continuous way, we will be able to inculcate a habit of learning, the kind of things which we are looking for as far as the quality assurance is concerned. We will be able to see that particular change in the students. So, they should be open to such a system that they get accustomed that yes, every week our assessment will take place. So, whatever has been done in a week's time, or could be a 15 days time, or could be a monthly activity, so they will feel accustomed to it. And since we are most of the universities are in the semester mode, so we are having very less time. So, it is better if you want to have an actual learning experience, a good learning outcomes to be achieved in the outcome based education framework. So, we have to develop a kind of a system as far as the equipment of assessment and the examination part is concerned. It has to be a continuous activity. If they feel that the examination is done at the end of the semester or at the end of the year, their attitude towards learning will be very, very different. And this has been our journey when you talk about the higher education institutes in India. They never used to bother for the whole year, and at the time of the exams they used to take up everything, and last just 15 days they used to mug up everything and just give a recall into the examination, which is not a good sign. So that means they are not into a Bloom's taxonomy framework. So the questioning, what I feel is that if you want to have the quality assurance and raise the quality standards of the Higher Education Institute, we have to blooming the questions relating to the Bloom's taxonomy, and right from raising their standard of thinking from a lower thinking level to a higher order thinking level. So we have to incorporate the knowledge, that is the remembering part in the revised Bloom's taxonomy, onto the understanding, analysis, applicability, synthesis, and eventually the creativity. So the overall improved learning outcomes by incorporating technology can also play a very vital role, and of course including the Bloom's taxonomy as far as the assessment and the examination is concerned. Combined with the two, we can make a lot of difference, and day is not far that we are topping the whole world as far as the education part is concerned. So what we have to do is we have to play with the methods, we have to make the methods interesting, we have to definitely now we cannot avoid the digital platform, it is a new now, and the learning outcomes of the students can be achieved if we are little innovative in our way of teaching, and we have to completely turn off the old methods and adopt the whole methods, new methods with the blooming questions incorporating into the assessment systems and the examination system, and definitely the students will make a lot of difference as far as their writing is concerned, as far as their learning is concerned, and slowly and steadily each one of us who is a part of the higher education system is adopting this new now. This is going to take some time, but yes, we are on that platform earlier. So now if you look upon the overall quality assurance aspects, now we can also say that the UGC has allowed a twin degree to the students, so which gives a kind of a motivation to the teaching learning systems, that one degree he can do it on a regular basis and one he can do it on a distance learning mode. This is one aspect. Number two, it has University Grant Commission has also approved the massive open online courses and the distance learning courses, and the MOOCs platform has been wholeheartedly adopted by the University Grant Commission and the higher education systems, which will not allow only the credits to be earned by the students, but also it is, I think, the best part as far as maintaining the quality assurance is concerned. It is a self-paced methodology wherein the quality is on the top. The teaching learning method is superb, and the takeaways are also good for the students, because we offer a 4-quadrant learning to the students, wherein the PowerPoint presentations are there, the text is there, the different takeaways are there as far as the additional takeaways, wherein the similar information which is available on the different websites is also mentioned, and there is a quiz and examination and evaluation which is self-generating, and probably you can even download your own mark sheet and see what kind of level you have. So it also puts a check and balances that if you are not able to secure say 70 or 75%, you will not be able to take a certificate in this regard. So some kind of a marginal fees is being kept, a very nominal fees is kept, so that the dropout ratio as far as the MOOCs platform is concerned is not there. So otherwise it has played wonderfully a pleasant change in the outcome based education also, because once you are into a MOOCs platform, you will see that the particular outcomes are mentioned before they take admission or before they log on to their particular course in which they are enrolled. So they know what they are doing, and they know after the completion of that course what is the learning outcome for them, it is good for them or not. So the students under the outcome based education framework can move on to the MOOCs platform also to hire to acquire the additional skills in this regard. And the outcome based education is therefore growing at a very tremendous rate, and it also develops the students professionally and make them socially competent. So a move to integrate the various softwares, it is the trend of today. Every organization is moving on to a different platform, customizing their software so that the teaching learning system can take a flight, and whatever they are striving for is achieved, and it is for the betterment of the students that they are into this particular setup, and they are trying to follow the globalized framework, the important framework which is the need of today. So the focus now, when you talk about the outcome based education and to raise the quality standards, is towards the career development, improve the education quality, and you can see that every now and then there is something new which is coming in the schools, in the colleges, just to felicitate and facilitate the programs, and certain kind of awards are, when you talk about the felicitation, certain kinds of awards are being kept for the teachers who are wholeheartedly doing the innovation and improvisation as far as their digital teaching pedagogies are concerned, and some kind of facilities are also given to them additionally, the journal subscription and the other e-books etc. are being available for the students as well as for the teachers. This is also one of the ways how we can improve the quality standards of the higher education institutes. Unless and until the teacher is well read, or the teacher is well informed about a particular area, what he or she is teaching in the class, there is no point coming on to the modern students of or contemporary students of today, because they are even well informed than a teacher. So it is the prime responsibility, if you want to move on to the quality assurance and raise the standards of the higher education institute, the teachers must give a thorough thinking to their own self, talk to their own self. Are they prepared? Are they perfect to face the class or not? If not, then they should take the efforts to equip themselves with the best knowledge and then face the students. So they have to give the best demonstration as far as their lecture is concerned. They have to develop such an engaging atmosphere, and it is the prime and the major responsibility of the teachers to make the academic program interesting, combined with the orientation, with certain case studies, with certain anecdotes, with certain pictures, so that we are able to have and understand the quality standards for that matter. So there is definitely a very good and important framework which is very important for us to understand, and we are able to achieve the quality standards with good mission statements, because everything is connectedly, there is no disconnect between whatever points we have discussed earlier and now, that under the OBE framework, if you want to achieve it as a big success, so all the sub points, substructures and the minor points have to be jointly seen in one frame. Only then we will be able to achieve the quality standards. So the first thing which you have to keep it very, very clear is about the mission, which gives you a reason for your existence. So you have to, whenever you are writing, because we all are moving towards the accreditation and the quality framework and upgradation of the quality assurance. So you must see what your parallel organizations have their mission statement. They have to be very nicely and very clearly written, followed by a vision, that is what is your future, what is that you're going to do in your future, with the clear cut objectives for which you have framed and formed the organization. There are certain long term objectives which we call it as a program educational objectives, that is seeing that the students join that organization, and there are certain graduate attributes which have been signed by the Indian Higher Education Institutes, also signed the Washington Accord, which very much gives a clear outcomes of the students, course, program, etc. And it is towards the recognition of the degrees which are being offered as far as the engineering part is concerned, and the National Board of Accreditation signed the Washington Accord in 2014. So what we have to do is we have to see everything in one frame, try to accomplish them, try to achieve, make the syllabi accordingly as per the industry demand, make the lesson plan interesting for the students, and innovate as far as the teaching pedagogies is concerned. So you have to customize the rubrics, do some kind of a continuous quality improvement, and only then the accreditation, student success will take place. So unless and until you see a kind of an alignment, that is, if your teaching pedagogies is going on an X way and your students are going on a Y way, so how will you achieve the success? So for a perfect success, quality assurance, and upgrading the standards of the livings of the people, we have to have a constructive alignment of everything in one frame and in one direction. So we need to have a mind mapping of the students. Only the softwares can help us in the present system, and it is very important for us to develop certain tailor-made models wherein the students feel happy being part of the class, a part of the learning platforms, and you can see astonishing rate of the success of outcome based education framework if we follow these pedagogies and follow the footprints, make the curriculum as per the industry demand, and give lot of opportunities so that the employability aspects can be improved as far as the benefits are concerned. So there are various steps which are very, very important to make the success of the quality standards. Some kind of outdoor teaching programs have to be launched, wherein the students, they will look forward for going outside the classrooms. That kind of a monotonous continuous programs which are for 6 to 7 hours of continuous sitting, make them even a human capacity cannot take the lectures. So how can we expect the same thing from the students? So we have to actually think and question ourselves that are we right? It is not definitely right, and it is not reflected in the learning outcomes that you have to keep the students continuously sitting for 7 to 10 hours, which is not humanly at all. So we have to think about the lectures which are, out of classroom, and sometimes we have to, set them free that today is your research class. So just try and find out and extract the information. So they will develop the research knack in them. They will try and find out the trips, the virtual trips, or probably after the pandemic you can plan some visits to the actual places of where the production is taking place, so that they have an experiential learning, and they see how the industry is moving on and how they can be a part of it. So it is said that the students can open up more in such environment, and there are so many empirical studies which prove that if we are saying no to our traditional classroom teaching, the improvement in their quality standards, in their experiences, in their learning, in their faring well in their exams is definitely better. So we have to implement it, conduct classes which is out of box, do some rubrics, try and give some various topics which are not even related to their curriculum, because we have to prepare them for the 21st century challenges. So what I feel is that whatever is there in the syllabus, that is one part, but every teacher should try and give them something a little different from the syllabus, make them a different person with more learned and more broader learning experiences in the classrooms. So only then we can make a substantial difference, and the assessment and the tools which we are adopting also have to be continuous. Only at the semester end or at the year end examination is not going to improve their learning. So we have to have a coherence and cohesion in the student learning. We have to be very particular about giving them the variety of the lectures, some kind of a video lecture. Sometimes they are not in a mood to listen to the teacher, so you can play a documentary for them, and we can have a question hour session after that. So enhance the student learning experience, adopt a different way of examination, and the continuous quality assessment is the key for quality assurance and is the need of today, and only then the nuances and the very purpose of the outcome based education can be achieved.